Hello, this is Jane Clark from the Old Art Room, and I thought I'd show you the studio as it's set up for the workshops that we're going to be doing on sewing accessories and the sewing roll. And it's just to inspire, because there are different colours and different styles on each of the tables, and what I'll do is if I take you round, you'll then get a little taster of what's going on in the studio over the next coming months. So here we've got the dual colours, the really vibrant blues and greens, and here's my business card, so you can see that's based on the blue moon. And it actually started off like these did, with dry felting on the embellisher machine, lots of beading, lots of embroidery and things added, lots of stitch. Here is a quillo, and for those of you that don't know what a quillo is a quilt that folds into a pillow or cushion and makes it easy to store and makes it nice and comfortable too. And there's a pattern and video online, because I fold it slightly differently to most, which makes it easier to do. Here's a fabric book, and this one was done by Stephanie, and she's just completed her level 1 textile course, which we do in February and September. And enrolments are always open, so you can always do that. We shortly be doing it online as well, which is really exciting. Here are the different pages, and you can see different techniques, traditional and contemporary, lots of layering, lots of use of materials, and it's a great way of getting inspiration and also enjoying the different techniques. This one's heavily beaded, a type of drawn thread work. Here we go. All right. This is an envelope pocket booklet, and you can see it's made with canvas that's been dyed and painted, and then on the front lots of lace, lots of sequins, lots of stitch. A scrap teddy bear, all made up with pieces and beaded and sequined. Again, sewing accessories, waxed paper that's been stitched and then sculpted. A cushion. And on this one there's a real mix of not only fabrics but also stitch, lots of machine stitch, and here you can see the shishimura that's been hand embroidered. A Bernina sewing machine, and we do lots of classes with the sewing machine, from beginners to learn how to use your sewing machine right the way through to free machining and decorative work. Alright, so here's the vintage area, so the vintage table along with a lovely Harris sewing machine. These are all my sewing machines that are around the studio, so I get to use a lot of different ones, and it enables me to also achieve lots of different work. This is a quilt made with vintage fabrics, as well as the fabrics made from my daughter's dresses when she was little. So the lace Stuart's great-grandmother had made, and I used that on a sheet, and then all the pieces are put together, and it's actually a dressing plate but put together initially as a grandmother's fan. On the table again, a fabric book made out of all the vintage lace, family lace, as well as those that has been given to me. So you can see there's lots in here put together as a book, because these doilies and things you wouldn't necessarily use for anything else, so they're in here as a keepsake. Alright, a needle book. This is one of the sketchbooks that I do where I put all the collection together. So this one's based on sewing, how to use this book, and you can see there's lots of vintage pieces in here, lots of additional pieces added, and I'll do a flip through of some of these books in a later video. Again, lots of pieces that are done by hand and machine. The embroidery, we've got a whole year's worth of workshops with Brenda Saltwell, and she's an exponent of stump work embroidery, and here you can see the etui box, and towards the back there's the dragonfly and the knot garden, the pincushion and the actual box, and here's a little delicate pincushion with the ladybird on, and she's going to be showing us how to do that shortly. A fabric quilt made from flowers, and I say the fabric because it's actually made out of vintage Colfax, Sanderson and Osborne and Little fabrics, and I love putting them together and then just enjoying the flowers. Okay, so the red and white table And you can see there's another quilt. This is all made up of my daughter's gingham dresses when she was little, and lots of favourite red and white. This is also, this is my lovely vintage Bernina that came in 1970s, and it works beautifully, and it's on a sewing mat that's got pockets. There's the sewing roll, and of course you've seen that online with the pattern along with the Gothic version there. And the inspiration actually came from the portfolio picture that is online that you see along with Facebook and things like that, and it's called the Sewing Vanitas, and as you can see it's got my old Bernina sewing machine. We pan across the room, and here on the table there's a quilt ready to be put together. Most days there's a quilt on the table. We try to keep the table clear, as I've said before, and there's normally one ready to put together. So we come around the table, and this is the Gothic inspired table. Lots of sewing accessories, bags, books. Again, another fabric book. This one was made by Carol. Again, she did her creative textiles based on black and white, and lots of favourite fabrics and things in here, and lots of art memories as well, which is really lovely. Buttons, bags, there's the sewing pattern that you can get online. This quilt is all made out of velvets, and this has inspired many a quilt. Velvet is actually very hard to put together because of course it moves, so there's lots of different techniques, and of course how to actually machine quilt it. Here is the retro table, and here is just a piece of fabric actually draped over, got from Marshlands. Alison has got a fantastic online shop, and this is ready for me to actually make a sewing machine cover, because I want a cover for this one because it's a Janome, and it's one of the large memory craft one, and its soft cover has literally broken up over the years, so I want one that I can actually put the handbook and things like that in the side, and its feet and leads. Lots of vintage patterns, books, and again here's another one of my journals that I've put together. And I'm going to be showing how to do this in some of the Friday journal workshops. Lots of cards and things in here that people have given me, and you can see, alright, lots of collections. Vintage buttons. There's another book with a different sort of cover, and again this is out of a vintage, all 1970s vintage things. A folded pocket purse. This is one of the book covers that's online, and you can see along with this one. Now this one's the Indian section, and you can see again this is an artist roll, okay, which is going to be online. Lots of braids, beautiful quilt made up of lots of sari fabrics, and again family fabrics from my aunt. Okay, these are vintage sari pieces. Shisha mirrors, I love doing shisha work. My scissor case, again based on lots of saris and trimmings. A lovely old Jones sewing machine. Alright, and that one's hand done. And again there's another India inspired cushion, and you can also see the shisha and also the peacock feathers. Another sewing tidy, alright, with pin cushion. My sketchbook from Jaipur. If you ever get a chance to go on a Coloricious holiday, I would really highly recommend it, and this is the one that I did when I went along. Right, I'll just show you down the table and down the studio again so that you can see the setup, just for inspiration on some of the workshops that we're doing. And it's normally this vibrant and colourful when the workshops start, so it's a good taster. So bye for now, and see you soon.